All right, and good morning, traders. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, of course, depending on where you're joining us from in the world. Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is your host, Christopher Guzman, joining you live along with your co-host, Richard Hooper. Good morning, Rich.
Morning, mate.
How you doing?
I'm alright, mate. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Valentine's Day. Rich,
Yeah,
before we
right.
get started, mate, will you be my Valentine?
It's a bit late for that, mate.
No. Better late than never.
Man. I've expended my energies. I've shared the love already, man.
Oh, I don't want to know. I'm not going to touch that one. Just know I'm happy for you. Good morning once again, everybody, and welcome to the Forex Trading Lounge. Today is, of course, Tuesday, the 16th of February, and after a bit of an unwelcome extended break, we are back, and it's good to be back. I say unwelcome extended break because obviously yesterday had some plumbing issues at the house, so alas, the show did not go on, but today it will. So,
Good to have you back, mate.
good to be back, man. Good to be back.
I was lost without you. There's actually not a lot happened for me yesterday, anyways.
I'm actually thinking.
Happening this morning.
Tell me what you think, mate, because I'm actually thinking. Because yeah, it does look a little bit quiet at the moment. So what I'm thinking is to use the opportunity, use it to our advantage, and get a fresh thing going across all charts. What do you think?
I think you just ruined my yawn. Yeah. Why not?
Why not, right?
You've,
It's a new week.
you just okay.
Let's,
Yeah, man.
let's do it. Let's just
That's what you wanna do,
start
mate.
fresh. Get fresh analysis. Nothing
Okay.
like a good fresh analysis, you know?
I'm actually trading the New Zealand dollar today.
Oh yeah. Well, if you see something that is lining up, like that I should be pulling my attention to, then we'll start there.
Just breaking out of a flagpole pennant, mate, on the old 1 hour.
Wait a minute. Did I hear that? Did you say you're trading New Zealand dollar?
Yeah.
What?
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
What?
Uh,
You feeling okay?
I'm fine, man.
Yeah? You sure?
It's a BPC, man. BPCs, they don't come very often.
I mean, I'm a little concerned. Why are you trading New Zealand? I'm a little concerned by this.
Wow, just the BPC, mate. You can't. I've actually, I've kind of missed it, to be fair. Kind of missed it. I could still get in. It just depends if it's gonna pull back now or not. I don't think it will.
So at the moment, that is a really nice morning star that's forming there, on this 2-hour time frame. Let's get a look at what's happening here. I can see the flagpole pennant you're on about. I can definitely see the flagpole pennant you're on about. In terms of the larger trend, it's obviously an uptrend. So let's go ahead and mark this and measure this out. And yeah, let's just get a fresh analysis going on this. For most of the charts, for a good, I'm glad you said yes to my idea this morning because I've already cleared off a lot of the charts, so it's just as well.
Good.
So of course, you know the drill, folks. Just doing my top-down analysis for the benefit of anybody watching. By the way, we do have a couple people with us this morning. Jermaine,
Oh yeah.
in particular, Jermaine has been waiting for us to go live, so special shout out to Jermaine. Good morning, Jermaine. Hopefully you're with us.
Yo, Jermaine. Morning, Matt.
Morning.
Um,
It's a strong uptrend on Kiwi. I'll give you that. It's a real strong uptrend on Kiwi.
what is going on? Oh, there it is. I couldn't find where to put my entry pricing. Coffee, I think I need coffee.
coffee is a must. Right. So I'm just coming in, obviously putting in all my trend lines first. And then I'm going to come in with fibs. I already have an idea about this. You know, I already kind of sort of made up my mind a little bit, but we're going to go through and do the full analysis first. That happens after a while of trading, right? You kind of, you know, you can look at a chart and pretty quickly, like, right, okay, you know, cut to the chase, right? But the problem with that is that, you know, you're kind of opening yourself up to mistakes in that, right? So it's always important, no matter how confident you get in your analysis and in your abilities, do you know what? The process is the process for a reason. Follow it. You know what I mean? And rules are rules for a reason. Follow them. You know what I'm saying?
Know what you're saying?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm abiding by that myself right now as well.
It's important. It's definitely important.
Yeah, so that's me prepared. You know, I've had 3 trades this morning on the fibs.
Have you?
Yeah, 3, man.
Nice.
3 15 for 15s. They all finished in 15 minutes.
Very nice. Very nice.
You know, that's 0.75% for the day. If it wasn't for this show, I'd be knocking off about now.
So Kiwi dollar. Interestingly, okay, we have a 2.618 on the 2-hour time frame. We got an unfulfilled 2.618 that it looks like the market is chasing after at 73.06. Can you see it there? 73.06. Which means that there is still a bit of opportunity to the upside.
306.
But, you know, as we get to that 73 marker, I'm going to start to anticipate a good sized pullback. I mean, the last time we broke 73. Actually, hang on a minute. Oh no, what am I saying? That's been fulfilled right here. That was just fulfilled recently. So we already have the pullback happening here, and we have a very good amount of support in here. So let's get the new fib in here and then get some subs going and get a bit more granular. Okay, so from the low to the end of the swing. And I'm just gonna have to get in a bit closer there. Adjust. Like so. Right. Yeah, sure enough. That's a 2.618 fulfillment right there. We've come back to the 23.6, so we got a super shallow one toe going on here. And in the process, what happened was we created... It's a combination of things going on here, mate, because I would argue you could even call this a friggin' ascending pennant. Because those highs all occur in a pretty similar location. Can you see how?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a relatively similar location. It's not like, you know, we're not making substantially higher highs or, you know, it's just kind of floating around about the same zone. But then the lows are getting significantly higher, right? So that's a sign of an ascending pennant, which, as the name implies, obviously we anticipate a breakout to the north with an ascending pennant. We're getting the breakout. We have the breakout. We also already have the pullback, interestingly. And now that we've had that, we're getting a morning star right at what is now support, right? What was resistance, which is now support. We're in the buy zone. The only thing is, neither of the indicators match up. Neither of the indicators agree with buying. In fact, both are overbought in this case. Although MACD, there's still some room on MACD. There's definitely still some room on MACD, but the stochastic RSI, I mean, look, it looks like we had just barely grazed the sell zone there, just barely, and immediately U-turned. But I mean, this could be just the result of this here, you know, because don't forget, indicators are lagging, right? So this could just be this catching up to this here. So my point in saying this is, basically what I want to do is turn to the larger time frame and see what's going on the larger time frame. And so I'm going to go to the daily. And when I do, this is what we've got going on. Okay, so again, nice solid uptrend. In fact, it's the same uptrend we just tracked on the 2 hour. This is the whole thing right here. It's the entire movement. We do have a bit more of a flagpole pennant on the daily than we do on the 2 hour. We also have a break of the counter trend line here. It's actually going to go back here. So here's your break, test, rally. You see?
Okay.
It's an interesting one. I mean, I do think if for nothing else, I think there's still room up to 73 to go and test that high again, that B high. Outside of that, though, if I were to come in with some subs here, let's have a look. Looks like it's going to be this way. A to B. Yeah, look, so at 72.74, which is not very far off from where we are currently, so about 11 pips away from where we are currently. That's a sub 118D extension. So I think for me, I'm all for buying Kiwi dollar, all for it. But what I'm going to do is wait for at least 72.75 thereabouts, and then look for a pullback. If I don't get it, I don't get it. I missed it. It is what it is, right? But I want to wait for this fib to complete, then look for a pullback, and then once the pullback happens, then I can look for a buying opportunity at a fib level. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay, mate.
What are you doing here? Did you say you bought this?
Well, waiting for a breakthrough, a pullback, and a continuation of the trend. Yeah. So I have. I'm trying to decide, to be honest, because it's broke out of this triangle now. I'm trying to decide whether to take it from the 7.315 and continue, or take it from the sort of 7.249 and take it up to that level. So there's potential for money right now.
When you say 7.315, do you mean that's your
target,
threshold level?
That's the target, yeah.
Right. Okay.
That would be if I do have a limit order set to buy at 7.249. So if it comes back to where it's broke out from, is looking at that level across the recent sort of range, I would say that's probably one of the better prices. Maybe even 7.238, but it's not quite where the breakouts took place, so I'm deciding to go with 7.248.
See, if I come in with a hypothetical fib here, it has to be hypothetical because we don't have a fulfillment yet, obviously, right? But just to kind of give me a sense of where things would fall, the way I'm looking at this is I'm saying, right, okay, this is what I can see. This is the sub fib that's currently playing out. I'm anticipating there's at least a 90, 95, maybe even greater chance that this gets to that 118 today, gives us the high and pulls back, right? So for me, what I'm looking at is what's this level down here? About 72.14, because that's a 382. 71.93, it's a 5.0. You know what I mean? And that would also be a pullback to the trend line. Which, if you look at what the market has done, look at the last couple of rallies. You have rally, pull back to the trend line, rally, pull back to the trend line, rally, pull back to the trend line, right? So rally, pull back to the trend line. It's basically what I'm anticipating here. So for me, I'm looking at a buy also, but I'm looking in this zone here as like my ideal buying opportunity. Right now, as you can see, you know, it's outside of my ideal price zone. It's too expensive right now. So for me, I wouldn't touch it right now. I'd wait for the pullback. But then I don't go for, 15 at a time like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is 80, man.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, you said BPC. That's right. That's not this one.
Yeah, so this is simply break out of the triangle, you wait for the pullback,
Yeah.
and then you continue in the trend up to that 7,350, and that's all I'm doing.
I see. I got you.
So this is a 40 for 60 I'm going for just because of that 7,315. But to be honest, I've missed the pullback. It's already done it. Look, if you zoom in on the 15 minute, it's already pulled back to...
Yeah, you had two opportunities actually. You had two opportunities to do that.
Yeah,
One,
I've kind of...
two.
I got to the computer a little bit late to
Nice morning star there
plan
too.
for it. Yeah, I had a quick look yesterday. I didn't do too much because you was off. I've got some other things done. And then I got on this morning and there was 3 fib trades, so I got in on them, and then I quickly had a look at this before we jumped on here. So I've missed it. Potentially, it depends if it breaks this high.
It'll come back. You'll have another opportunity, mate. Because look, again, you don't have to look very far back to see. I mean, just look right here. Look at how we rally, and then this has a tendency to like to come back to the trend line, and I think that will happen again. I think we have a bit more of a push left in it, but 7275 is a level I'm watching as a D extension. You know what I mean? So I'm anticipating a pull. So what I'm saying is, yes, you missed the couple of trains that came to the station, but don't worry, there's another one just behind it. It's coming.
Yeah, I am in two minds though. I don't know whether to wait for like a sustained break on the daily and wait for that and to see if the 7,315 levels attacked this week, If that 7,315 levels attack this week and we get a daily close over one of the days this week above it, then I'll look for a pullback to the 7,315 and a continuation from there, because that's been the high, because that, as you said, it's fulfilled your fib, hasn't it? And then it come back. So normally the way this works, it fulfills the fib and then it'll faff around. You wait for the breakthrough of that price, you wait for it to pull back to that 100%, and then you continue. That's the way this normally works. But so that's the normal strategy, okay? That's the rule of the strategy. But I'm looking at this, a 1 hour or 2 hour flagpole pennant. It's broke out of it now. It's arguably safe to say it's decided it's going to go in that direction. Do I get in at this price, which is 80 pips better ish, than waiting for that further confirmation? That's what I'm doing. So I'm thinking I'm just going to take it twice.
Yeah.
So I wanted to. Yeah, might as well.
I mean, I'm confident in the direction. I'm confident.
It's still a trade.
I mean, if you look at the formations we're dealing with here too, it is favorable. It is favorable. You've got, just starting from here, right? You've got engulfing bull, followed by another engulfing bull that was tested, that broke the trend line. That came back for the test, left behind a hammer, which got tested, which left behind another engulfing bull, which got tested, which left behind a piercing line, which got tested. You see?
Yeah.
And now we've left behind another hammer, and this is very likely to carry on this way for the day and close as an engulfing bull again. But with this, it's natural to anticipate a test, and even on the smaller time frame, mate, this is partly why I'm just waiting on this, because even on this smaller time frame, that's a textbook morning star, right? I mean, that's just a beautiful, beautiful morning star, right at support, in the buy zone. I mean, it's gorgeous. Problem with that is that the market likes to test it at least 50% of the time, right?
Yeah.
So, very next candle in an hour's time, very, very likely to be aggressively testing what's left behind here, which just means for us a better, an opportunity to catch the train again. You know what I mean? An opportunity for a better entry price.
Hopefully, we'll see. Either way, like I say, the normal way this would work is I'd wait for a breakthrough of the 7315 on the daily, a sustained break on the daily by about 40 pips. I'd wait for my pullback back to the 7315, and I'd get in there. I mean, 40 pip stop loss is quite big, so for sort of daily trading, but I'm just giving myself an extra bit of risk, bit of opportunity to make some money here. That's all. You know.
Well, dollar yen looks ripe for a pullback. It's finally moved. Dollar yen was painful last week, wasn't it? Absolutely painful. It's finally moved. It broke. It blew right through 105. Blew right through the 105.50, which I'd been tracking for a while, and now is finally starting to pull back. So obviously, as dollar yen pulls back, we'll see continued strength. We should see continued strength. Kiwi dollar, Aussie dollar, pound dollar, and euro dollar, while this is pulling back.
Okay. I've got dollar yen coming back to a 1 hour for a long.
Yeah. No, I'm still bullish on this. 100% still bullish on this.
It's already done it, mate. Ignore that.
What's that?
Okay, this is interesting. So the way the 1 hour bounce works, right, is you get a new high, it comes back to the 1 hour price, you get in, and then hopefully you get a new high as it carries on. In this case, it's failed. We got a lower high, so it dropped to the 105.41. It went long for 15, which is brilliant, because that would be a successful trade. I missed that one. What time was that? That was 5:30 this morning. But then it set a lower high, and then it's on its way back down to that same price level. So, yeah, I would say that in the smaller detail, that evidence is it's shorting. I guess you're just gonna work out for how long now, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah. Especially because obviously, if any trade is taken here, it's a counter trend trade, which you got to be extra careful with those, right? Because you're identifying the trend, you're recognizing it, and then bucking it entirely. So it's a risky move, but obviously there's opportunity to be had sometimes. You know what I mean? My problem with this is that there's a ton of support. There really is a ton of support in here. We do have an engulfing bear, which was tested. The test failed. Stochastic RSI is sitting at 44, so it's in no man's land, which isn't great, but the MACD is what's interesting me. The MACD is lined up. I mean, that's textbook. That's ideal selling conditions on the MACD. Absolutely ideal. The only thing we need is for that to cross. Problem is, another problem is that we're in the buy zone, out in the field. So again, a sell trade here is against the trend. So it's risky. In terms of subs, let's have a look.
Sub.
Just interested to see. Oh yeah, look at that. So we're moving quite nicely. This is the third. This is the third fib completion in this little sub movement here. Third fib completion, which more than confirms the direction we're headed. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not particularly interested in a sell here. I'm more interested in a buy. I'm way more interested in a buy than I am a sell, and I'm interested in a buy somewhere in this region here.
What 105.20 ish.
Yeah. Yeah, 105.20.
105.07 is my L7.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a 69.4% retracement in this case. 105.07.
Yeah, and my support starts about 105.20.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, see, 26, 105.26 is what I would call that sort of first level there. First level of support right there. S1, S2, S3, S4. So 26, then 104.89, 104.68, 104.40, 104.18. Although, oops.
Yeah, I've got 89, 75, and then 105.19. So,
yeah, see, we're close. We're very close. I'm definitely way more interested in the buy here though than I am in the sell. That's,
you could scale
that's
in,
for sure.
you know, things like this. You can either wait for the good price and go all in, or you could scale in. But you need silly stops.
Yeah.
Especially for the first one, you know, you're looking at 80 pip stops like to go where.
See this region as well.
Yeah.
If I just go swing low to swing high, that region puts me right at a 5-0.
I think you could probably just boycott dollar yen just now, mate. There's no point looking at it anymore.
What, buy it?
No, forget it. Like, just move on. I think.
Well, no, because I want to see. I might set up a pending order here. Because that 5. Yeah.
What for? To sell it?
No, to buy. To buy. I don't think there's all that much room in the sell here. There is a sell signal currently, but I don't think there's all that much room. I think it's just a pullback. So it's just a waiting game, I think, if anything. I could put a pending. One thing I could do is put a pending order, right? I could put an entry buy limit down at, say, 105.15, which would be the 382. It's a little bit beyond that 105.20, gives that, you know, a little bit extra. Or I could just what I'm gonna do instead is I'm actually just gonna place a line and put an alert, and then as the market approaches and crosses this line, it'll draw my attention back to dollar yen. So just gonna go crossing down. Dollar CAD has been on a big time sell off for a while now. That's it. Before I go into this, mate, do you have your eye on anything else that you want to kind of jump to?
To be honest, no, because in terms of the fibs and VPCs, etc., I've pretty much gone over mine. There's no trades lining up per se right now. It's done its business. We've had the open. There's nothing going on for me, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing even happening for me to bring your attention to.
Okay. Well, in that case, then that's...
Unless you want to look at the euro dollar. That may have actually, I'm looking at my stuff and I'm trying to convert it to what I know you look for. Euro dollar may have already presented something, I reckon, or is, depending on your stop order and your stop order entry method.
Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not great, is it? It's not fantastic. No. All right, so I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna go and just go through my analysis. You know, just get that fresh analysis that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see. Maybe we'll uncover something along the way. But I agree. The market's kind of done its initial thing today already. Now it's in that bit of a holding pattern. We just gotta wait for it to wake up again, which it will, but not right now. So we'll use the time to our advantage. Right. So I've put my trend lines in already. Trend lines and counter trend lines. Now I just come in and start spreading these fibs, measuring the waves. Like so. I get a 61.8, and then I'm looking for a fulfillment at 36.35.
No way. The oil traders just got in a 60-minute dollar yen long on a monster.
Just now.
No, the monster trade is basically a trend trade, but I've never seen it open a 60-minute monster before because they're just so hard for the parameters to set up.
Really?
60-minute long on the dollar yen.
What's the stop?
Like 100 pips.
Oh, okay.
It depends actually. I can't. The default setting is 100 pips, but it may use dynamic because I have updated this. Let me have a look. Okay. It's not actually entered it yet.
Oh, it's not entered it yet.
It's ready for entry. Yeah, it's ready for entry. If it opens, which I don't see why it won't, but I'll let you know. There's actually quite a lot going on. To be fair, we've got £2 dollars on a reversal short. Dollar yens, there's already 3 entered on a 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. There's a pound yen. In fact, there's £3 yens, which you're losing. Losing quite badly. Like 30 pips badly. In fact, it's in a pound yen monster long on a 1 hour there as well. Interesting. Anyway.
Did you say pound yen long?
Pound yen long, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually already took a trade off the pound dollar, pound yen, and euro dollar all long this morning. All at 8 o'clock, all triggered at the exact same time. All went for 15 points in 15 minutes, all at the same time. It's crazy.
That's nice.
Doesn't happen like that very often at all.
It's nice when it does, though, isn't it?
Yeah. They've actually gone for about 20 pips as well. Like, they've all moved for... Pound dollars went for 21. Pound yens moved for 22. And the euro dollar, that absolutely flew. That moved for 34 up to the... That moved for 23. So yeah, it was really nice. Really nice 3 trades there. In fact, arguably textbook with only a 5 pip maximum stop loss fulfillment as well.
Nice.
So 3 trades with the stats there.
Dollar CAD's rather interesting, you know. is dollar CAD. Have a look at this. So dollar CAD, capital fibs point us to an anticipated 2.618 at 22.43, right? That's about 400 pips worth of opportunity to the downside there from where we are currently. But take a look at this. What's interesting me is that if you come in with the subs as well, here's our most recent sub fib. Here's the pullback. It's a 382. Look at where that 1.618 falls. 2286. And and are we outside of the AB boundary? Ooh, no, we're not. Interestingly, we're not quite outside the AB boundary, but we just recently broke. What that means is that obviously the market, left the AB boundary, which is support. That's a good level of support right there, and came back for the test. You see, and with that test, we're now back inside that AB boundary. So this is still 26.20. I round up and say 25. 26.25 is arguably still support. And so if anything, if there's a buying opportunity to be had, it's because we're bouncing off of support. But if you look bigger picture, right? Bigger picture, if you can get in at a good enough price, so say in this region in here, with a stop above these highs, and then look to take that down there.
Okay, so you're trading on the 2 hour now?
Yeah, this is 2 hour.
Okay, so that's why you're doing a lot of looking and waiting and seeing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So can you see what I'm looking at here though? Because you have the break of support. Now the last time it did this though, here's the thing, and this is where this may line up with a dollar yen buy as well, because last time we had this, look at how the market rallied, and what it did was it rallied back to the trend line, didn't it? You see? And so that was the last time we were down at this level. It rallied back to the trend line. So that's why I say I think there's there's potential for a short-term buying opportunity in here, but bigger picture. Then I zoom out and say, right, bigger picture.
So if I would take.
I'm looking to sell in here, like right in here.
Okay.
How
would you use your stock to wait until that's above the 75? Can you set an alert on the stock RSI?
I know on some platforms you can. I've never tried it on. Oh, yeah, here you go. That alert.
Boom.
There you go.
Set that to 75.
Crossing, yeah. Cool.
Is that the right place to put that 75 bit?
Yeah, I think so.
Never used it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, look, you can put an alert on any of the indicators actually. Choose them all from any indicator you have on there. That's quite good actually. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this here.
Sales on, man. Look at the pound dollar, man. Oh my god. This is where I get frustrated with myself.
What? I mustn't have done that correctly. As soon as I closed it, we got an alert.
Yeah, because it had 1.2, and I thought that's not. You can't have a 1.2 on the stock.
Oh, wait a minute. What in the world? Wait, you know what's happened? That's why is my T3? One of my T3s is down here for some bizarre reason.
What?
Look. How in the world?
It's not a T3, is it? It's the stock line.
No, that's a T3. It's a T3 36. See, just under stochastic RSI. Watch.
What else?
There, I've just gotten rid of it. I'm gonna put a T3 back on. It was a T3 36.
Oh, I see.
You see?
Yeah.
Bizarre. So bizarre. There we go. I've got my buy zone back. My buy zone, sell zone back.
Ah.
Thought it looked a bit strange.
Ah.
You see?
Jesus Christ. I see, man. I see.
There we go. All right. Now we're back. That looks a bit better now. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see if I can set an alert on this guy. 3 dots. Add alert. Crossing. Oh, okay. Watch. Okay. So we want greater than 75. That's more like it. Nope. That's wrong too. Well, you can set an alert. I don't know how, so we'll have to figure that one out and come back. But yeah, I think as far as dollar CAD is concerned, you know, if there is a buying opportunity to be had, it's back to that trend line. It is against the trend, so obviously I wouldn't be looking for any gigantic moves here. I'd be looking for a very short-term buy if I were to take a buy. Otherwise, I'm just looking, you know, more interested in selling this. So I'm looking for a better price to sell it. You know, 27.12. No, so we're gonna go down to this one here, and here's the current sub, and that's a 38.2. Yeah, so see, even the subs are pointing down.
So ideally, you want the stock above that 75. You want the price to come above your yellow T3, and then you'll start looking to sell it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 7.3. Oops. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm just measuring out, because this is a buying opportunity in here. So I'm just measuring out to see, you know, what that actually looks like, where it's pointing to target wise, and if it makes sense, you know. We're currently sitting right at what would have been the entry point there at 26.40. So if this is still a viable, if this is a viable opportunity, then it's hot. It's running now. 40 pips in risk, which means I'd want 60 pips in reward.
You want it to fall, the take profit to fall below that trend line there.
I'd be looking. This is pointing me to 2700. 2700. 2700 even. So, if anything, that's the buying opportunity right there. Exactly what I said, right? I said right into this zone here, and then I'm looking for a sell. So I think if anything, we do have a buying opportunity that I'm looking at here, but it's a risky one because again, it's against the trend, and what I'm basically anticipating is just you know, a nice little push to test all of this movement here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not the worst opportunity. It is risky though for the reasons I mentioned, and the stochastic RSI is obviously sitting squarely inside of no man's land, which isn't a total deal breaker, but it's not great either. You know, ideally I would have liked to have gotten in, you know. Although saying that this is just part of that move, really. This is just part of that move, because if you look at the previous candle, that was sitting at 28, and the one that actually gave the signal in the first place was 11 at the time. The MACD's just crossed. Excuse me. It's actually not bad. It's not bad, but it's not great either.
Have you done the majors? Have you reset up the majors? Is there anything happening on pound dollar, etc.?
Yeah, so let's have a look now. So in terms of pound dollar is just following exactly what I've been tracking for a while now. It's been doing it beautifully. It really has. There's a lot of strength in the pound dollar, and I think there's a lot of continued strength in the pound dollar to at least 44.70. I've been saying this. I've been saying it. Rich is my witness. Been saying it for a long time now, actually. 144.70. I feel like it's been at least a year since I've been saying that, because I've actually where were we? We were in somewhere in.
We need to set up an
This
account,
zone
right,
here.
with about 1,000 in, specifically for large Fibonacci trades like this.
Just leave it alone. Yeah.
And literally the whole account is the stop loss on 500 to 1 average in IC markets and Seychelles.
You got it all planned out already, man, huh?
Yeah, man. Like, when did you put that fib in?
This,
Yeah.
I started calling 144.70. I started calling it back at the beginning of 2019. So in here, I've been saying to 44.70.
So
And
going
then I
back to
reinforced
that
it over here.
point, going back to there, what would have been the stop loss? You know,
To
I
here?
reckon. Huh?
Going back to where? Sorry.
When you figured out that unfulfilled 38.2, right?
Yeah. So
Where was that? You say at the beginning of 19.
yeah, beginning of 19. So it would have been in here.
Okay. So if let's say you put a trade on and you go for that 1.44 at that point, where's the likely place you would have put a stop, do you reckon?
So this is a different strategy. It's one I don't really use often. I have used it in the past, but not frequently. But basically what I would do is go for the furthest possible low away from where I am, and then 10 to 30 pips, because I'm dealing with the daily time frame as well.
I reckon 30 for this one.
Yeah, so 1874.
So that would have been your stop.
Yeah, and that wouldn't have worked.
Where's your entry?
Would have been, well, it's hard to say though, because this is a daily time
Yeah.
frame, mate. So I started calling to say, right, I'm thinking this is headed to 144.70, but that's, I wouldn't just say, right, okay, then I'm just gonna buy it then, because look at all that happened in the meantime. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we'd have lost that trade. The account would have been blown.
Yeah, that would not have been good.
£1,000 down the Swanee.
Yeah, no, I could never do that. I could never ever do that. But as far as calling the long term targets here, though, it's pretty good, pretty useful. So obviously I'm still, medium and long term bullish on this. No reason not to be, right? Now obviously we have been rallying for quite some time, without that much of a pullback, really. So what concerns me is that as we start getting up to, say, 1.4, I mean, now we're breaking into a whole new threshold. I'm anticipating good resistance at 1.4, and what I'm then anticipating is for this to push back to the trend line, just like it did here, you see? And just like when we got to around about 135, right? 135, what did it do? It pushed it back to the trend line. So I reckon so from 135 to 1.4, 1.4 pushes it back to the trend line. So on the smaller time frames, I would welcome selling opportunities if we see them, right? If we find good ones, I'd certainly welcome them. Even though medium to longer term, I'm bullish on this to at least 144.70. And the more ideal trades, if I'm looking to trade longer term, then obviously I'm looking for the buys, not the sells. You know, I'm only looking, what I'm saying is that I'm only looking for sells just for quick little scalping opportunities, nothing more. A lot of strength in the pound. In terms of on the 2-hour time frame, capital up AB boundary. This is the most recent one. 35. Hold on, what's that? No, sorry, 130. Yeah, 135 is the B high there, the capital B high. Then we've got our subs in here, and we can see two sub completions at least, and it looks like we're on our way to the third. So that third sub D is sitting at 139.94. Just had a power loss in the building. 139.94. So yeah, if anything, I think this is going to give a little push. So I would have to turn to the 15-minute time frame to find any opportunity on this. But ultimately, you know, I think there's a move to 39.94, maybe to 1.4, maybe to just push right to 1.4. But then again, like I say, you know, once we get, there we go, power's back. Once we get to 1.4, then I'm anticipating a good size pullback, where we could even potentially take advantage of some selling opportunities there.
I've just realised I missed a trade this morning because we're looking at the pound dollar. 3949 is the cap for the day, and it's actually sold at 3949 for nearly 40 pips. Normally that's a 20 for 20.
Yeah.
I miss so many trades. I really do.
Well, look at this. So this is.
Should you play a buy it?
10 pips above 39.35. $38.99. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm looking at what was the buy signal here, because that's an engulfing bull right there. 39.35 and 38.99 is 36 in risk, so 54 in reward. Puts me at 39.89, mate. 39.89. That's right there. That's to the D. I might have to take that. I might have to take that. 5 pips off entry. If I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it now. Otherwise, forget it. I might actually take that.
Look at the dollar yen, man. Did you say it was gonna sell?
I did.
No, it's sold. It looks like a lot, but it's only moved 10 pips.
Yeah. Well, dollar yen, I'm waiting for a buying opportunity on dollar yen. But I said I'm anticipating for it to sell off, which obviously would indicate further strength. Pound dollar, Aussie dollar, Euro dollar, and Kiwi dollar. So that would support this, actually. That would support to, because I would take this to 39.89, so that would support to 39.89 right there. Ooh, it's tempting. It's very tempting. Look at it on the 1 hour. Oh, the stochastic is nice on the 1 hour. Tell you what, I might have to take this. I just might. I'll give it a limit order here. Throw a limit order on there. Only 3 pips off though.
This is what I find it interesting, really, because see that pound dollar. Like, if you'd have noticed it at the same time as me around that 7:45 point and assimilated the same analysis and information, I was in on that at 3,913. I bought that, nearly 30 pips ago. Now,
Could have told you kept holding.
if we'd have done this at the same time,
Yeah, keep holding.
like I could, like either you could get a better entry, or I could be still in this trade now. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I think we're failing now. But it's difficult to get the timing right.
Well, and
It's
the thing
difficult
is,
to get the timing right.
yeah, and just because that happened today doesn't mean that happens every day. And that doesn't mean that you can't like say, right, okay, at 9 a.m. I'm gonna find opportunities.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, but I do think either I need to. I think we could be quickly assimilating the data at the same time. Either I'll let you know when I'm about to go in the trade, or maybe we need to get together a bit early, mate. Like that euro dollar, what do you think of euro dollar? Once you're done with that, what do you think of euro dollar?
Well, dollar yen, it is selling exactly like I said it would. It's looking real nice. I think there's room here to that. I think it's going to try to push back to the trend line. There's a possibility it pushes back to the trend line. The close here rather was 45. Was it? Hang on. Oh yeah, 45. So 35 would be the entry, which is exactly where we are currently. 35. I'd want to go 15 pips above the high. It's too wide, I think. Already I can tell you I think it's too wide. Too ambitious. 105.79 and 105.35. That's 44 in risk, so 66 in reward. 104.69. Ooh, mate. This is, you know what it's doing? It's taunting me. That's what it's doing. It's right back to the trend line. It's exactly what I'm saying it's gonna do, and the opportunity is like, okay, here you go. Very tempting. Very, very tempting.
And it's at your entry now. Is this on the tour?
Sure is. Sure is.
It's because there's a potential reversal, a short-term reversal here, because it's generally been in an uptrend recent days.
Yeah, no, well that's what I'm looking at, is just literally just the pullback. That's what I'm looking at. Now the only thing is, I could take it and trade manage it. But I'd have to be real aggressive with the trade management. I've got to make a move. If I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it, because otherwise I'm gonna miss the boat thinking about it.
Okay, let me have a little look. So we've got 2 bullish fibs to start with, but we are in an overall down trend.
it's against the trend though. That's the only thing. Yeah. I like it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it does make its way down to that 104.75, which is like your maximum support level. So what have you got there?
6.9, 104.69.
I mean, the major support really is around the 104.25.
Yeah.
That's a 50 fib bullish. Well, it's got to get through a couple lines of support before that. I think it's takeable, mate.
Yeah.
No, dude.
I'm gonna take it.
It's on the 2-hour. You've got your MACD there. Mate, as long as it's satisfying your rules, I just think, you know, set your alert at the 1-to-1 point and have a little look at it. You're only risking 0.1 anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got like 40 trades and you can, there's 40 times you can be wrong. Well, I'd say about 20 times.
There we go. Yep. Okay, so yeah, I'm in that. So the 1-to-1, so I'm risking 44. So 105, 44, that's 104.88. So let me go ahead and set that and then set the alarm. 104.88.
I think the euro dollar is really interesting. I think you'll find something when you've done that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So my actual entry on this, 105.32. So 3 pips off my ideal entry. 104.69 is the target. 105.78 the stop loss. Okay. That means that we should be seeing continued strength, pound dollar and euro dollar, if that's the case. So here's euro dollar. Euro dollar. The thing with euro dollar is that we're right at resistance. I mean, we're at a very solid level of resistance. You know, and getting price rejection. Well, two things. We're forming a new high, and in the process, of course, naturally getting price rejection. We are overall pointing up here. Let me see what these look like in here.
Pound dollar's gonna stall, I reckon. If dollar does drop, then euro is gonna go long.
Say that again.
If dollar does drop, like the way we're anticipating, euro's gonna go long, euro dollar's gonna go long.
Yeah, agreed.
It's actually set a L7, L7, L7 trend in the long. So
on euro
dollar, yeah. That you don't get that often. Screaming buy me.
Yeah, it is.
But you're identifying some.
There's a good amount of resistance there, but the thing is, the pullback's already happened. So you know, getting a break here.
What's it look like on the 2-hour? Yeah.
An engulfing bull. The only thing is, the stochastic's at 52, and the MACD isn't great for a buy either. It's not the worst I've ever seen it, but it's not the best either. It's actually in the sell zone technically. Let's see something here.
I would say the next major resistance levels around about the 22.10 on the euro dollar.
22.10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, I've got a target, a 2.618 sub at 22.17. 7 pips off your
Ooh.
projection there, 22.17. That's very
Okay.
tasty. That's very
That's
tasty.
weird, isn't it?
It's tasty is what it is. That's yummy in my tummy, mate.
It's just let me put my bearish fibbo in here a minute.
Right, so the close 121.19.
Yeah, it's at the 50 fib just now.
So 21.29. See,
I'd even say 21.96, mate, or I'd even say 21.85 up to that 22.20, that area. And I'd probably go off the 38 fib at 2196, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. This is too much. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm looking at is that this engulfing bull right here, right? That's my signal. We're breaking back into the buy zone now. You know, it's reacting off of this engulfing bull, which happened to occur at the backside of the downtrend line, which was broken. So we had the break, then the test, support held, left us with an engulfing bull and a beautiful rally. Based off of that engulfing bull, okay, if I were to scalp that 1.5 for 1, that target, you know where that target leaves me?
Yeah.
22.16, mate. 2216. And my fib target is 2217.
Okay.
How do you like them apples?
Well, if we can get a break of this 50 fib at the 2149, right? 2150, which it's trying
It's doing now.
to get past, yeah.
It's breaking it right now.
You know, we're easy getting onto the 2200, man. And where's you? 2216.
2216. Oh, mate. On the 15 minute, right? So I've established on the 2 hour what I'm looking at. So now I'm going to jump down to the 15 minute and look for opportunities in that direction. Look, Morningstar, right there. 10 pips above. You put me at 51. 21.51.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna get in this, mate, but you're counting on that break
21.18.
being the break. Euro, Aussie's setting up for a long. Everybody wants to long the euro, man.
Oops. Damn it. 21.51. Okay, so 21.51 and 21.18, that's 33 in risk. So 49 in reward. That's 2200 for a target. Mate. This is screaming by me. This is screaming by me. Like,
Well, you've had the buy signal on the map there a little while ago. It's just your stock RSI is not. It could do with being on the other side, couldn't it?
yeah. Yeah.
But it makes sense that it's there though, because it's trying to break new highs.
Right, I'm gonna take this one, mate. I like this. Euro dollar. What did I say the risk? 33. So 33 in risk. Right. You ready, mate?
I'm ready, man.
You ready? You sure you're ready?
When you press buy, is it just gonna shoot up?
100%. Let's go.
You got a billion assets under managed behind you or something?
Yeah, it's something I've been meaning to talk to you about, mate. 2152 was my actual entry point. 2152. So this is actually really good, mate, because it gives me further confidence in euro dollar. And like I said to you, you know, if euro and like you rightly said, if euro dollar, if dollar yen does continue to pull back, then that would mean strength for pound dollar, euro dollar, Aussie dollar, and Kiwi dollar, or should anyway.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Dollar still going. It's at some support at the moment. It'll probably faff around now for the next 3 days.
Yeah, just because I got in it, right? I just fucking mess about.
Yeah, 105.20 dollar yen. It'll get there and do nothing, mate, for a bit. That's what it likes to do. Little 10-20 pip moves does nothing.
Aussie dollar. Let's have a look.
It looks like it wants to go long on my screen, mate.
Mine as well. Which again is fantastico.
It's kind of doing nothing though at the same time. This Aussie dollar.
If anything, though, if it can position me nicely for the New York Open, I'm happy, because then you know, lack of volatility here will be made up surely in the New York Open. You know what I mean? So the key is, though, obviously, you got to get the calls right, because otherwise the New York Open will have the exact opposite effect. It's either going to be really good, or you're going to really regret that. That's why it's important to get the right calls, isn't it? Let's see here. Resistance on Aussie dollar for me is 78.20. It's a good level of resistance for 78.20. So it needs to break 78.20, but I think it will. I think it's got enough there, enough oomph. Stochastic is currently sitting at 35 on the 2 hour. So on approach to the buy zone, MACD is supportive of that, in that it's still selling off in the sell zone. But that's ideal, because you know you would want to see this come back closer to, at least closer to that zero line, and then give a signal, or even better still, to come back into the buy zone and then give a signal. You know. But there is good resistance at 78.20. That's the thing. There's good resistance right there that I'm watching. In terms of the fibs, let's go ahead and see what these fibs look like in here. Okay, 50. The 1618.
Wow.
23.6, so super shallow, looking for a 74365 target. So 74365.
You ever click on your chart and
is.
press the X button on accident, and then you lose all your stuff? You gotta do it again.
No.
I just done that, man.
The X button, what do you mean?
You know when you click it off to get rid of something?
Yeah.
Just done that on my euro dollar and my Aussie dollar on accident, and I've lost all my...
Can you not
Chart.
do Control Z?
Not on sea trading, man.
Oh, right. Oh, well, you know,
That
sea trader, man. I don't know what to
contract.
tell you. On TradingView, you do have that luxury.
But that New Zealand dollar, mate, that's gone for 20 pips already. That would be halfway to target, man.
Look at that.
I'm in our bed. I've missed 2 trades. That would have been a full across the board winning day, man, for 5 trades today.
Nice. Very nice. Aussie dollar, 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 dollar. Very strongly in an uptrend. Though we do have a super shallow one toe in the water, we're still very much outside of the AB boundary. And from the look of it, still following these sub-fibs here. I want to see where
I
this...
always secretly laugh at myself, you know. When you say super shallow, one toe in the water, it's like such a long description when you could probably just stop at super shallow. Like, shallow is already shallow, and one toe in the water is already like not that much. So to describe it as a super shallow one toe in the water is like such an extreme verbalization of where something is.
Do you know why I do that?
Is
The
fun?
God's honest truth why I do that. Because I want to constantly reinforce the imagery that when that sort of movement happens, the market is literally just dipping a toe in the water to test.
And it's too cold.
It's too cold, so it's going to run away a bit and wait for the water to warm up a little bit, and then it's going to come and do a belly flop.
Oh,
Right? So that's why I do that, because I want to always reinforce that when you're looking at a super shallow 23.6% retracement or less, the market, it's the equivalent of the market just dipping a toe in to test the waters, see what it's like before committing, you know. That
I've
and it
got a
sounds cool.
feeling- I've got a feeling this New Zealand dollar, if the dollar yen carries on selling, then I don't see the New Zealand dollar coming back to pick me up. I think the train's gonna get all the way to France without me.
It's going to France.
Well, New Zealand.
You taking a train to New Zealand, mate?
Via France.
Oh, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Train is being collected by a Boeing 747 in Marseille.
Seems a bit unnecessary.
Oh man, I could have got in on that trade.
See, Aussie dollar, dollar, dollar. There's a lot of resistance here, not just from 78.20, but take a look. We're literally right smack at the backside of that trend line there. And at the backside of that trend line, what we've done is we've formed an engulfing bear. See that? So this, what's happening here, is the test of that engulfing bear. And at the moment, let's see if it's done the 50% move. So 78.04 and 7776. It's 28. So 14. Oh, what the hell did I say was the high now? 78.04. So 77. Ha! It's literally right at the 50% mark right now. Look at that. It's right at that 50% mark as we speak. So, where this ends up in 4 minutes time is going to be rather telling, mate. Because if it can't close beyond that level, if it cannot close beyond 77.90, and we get the price projection there instead, then what it means is that there's more to that engulfing bear / evening star, technically, and we should pay more attention to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes. We have got 2 bullish fibs, mate. What are you looking to do? Buy or sell this?
Ideally, I'd like to buy, but my issue is I've got 3 issues. Number 1, 78.20 is the next sort of major level of resistance, which isn't really so much of an issue because it's 30 pips away. So even if I took something here and then trade managed it, you know what I mean? Second issue though is that we're right at the backside of this trend line here. So resistance, right? What was support becoming future resistance, and the reason that's the backside of the trend line is because 78.20 is my high. So that's technically still where that trend line falls. It's coming all the way from here. It's a legacy trend line, you see. So good resistance there. And then the third thing is, of course, the fact that evening star, right? Plus the MACD has given a sell signal in the sell zone. The stochastics nowhere. Stochastics in all over the place. But this evening star
yesterday, mate?
This evening star carries a lot of weight, providing that we don't close beyond 77.90. If this manages to break above and close above, then forget what I just said. But if as long as we remain below, what I said still applies. What was your question, mate, about yesterday?
Where is yesterday on there?
Where is yesterday?
So you got the 16th of Feb.
So 15th is the start is right. It was midnight yesterday.
Okay.
So if anything, we could also be looking, because if you
that's why
create a high, pull back, create a high, pull back, create another high.
That's what I did actually say earlier. I think the Aussie dollar's almost doing nothing. Like I wouldn't know. I would sell it off the 7.820, or I'd buy it from the 7.713. Like, take yourself on the chart back to the 8th of Feb at 3:30.
Yep, I can see.
See how it bounces off that price, and then since then, that's the major level of support, right? That is also the 61 61 bullish fib, right? So because it's sort of because we've got that previous high going all the way back to Jan. I feel like it's just in this in between. It's trying to break a new high. It's not really at a decent level of support to buy. It's not quite at where it needs to be to sell. Like, that's what I think for me. And there's no short-term stuff happening for me, like for today.
He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Yeah, this is it's a real nowhere man kind of a pair this morning. Did you just say who was that?
Yeah, I've never heard that song.
Oh, what kind of Brit are you, mate? What is this?
I'm not very good. I'm not very
Blasphemy. My missus said the same thing. It's the Beatles, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, terrible.
I'm not that bothered, mate.
Terrible, man. Terrible. See, it's further compounded as well. Even if you're just looking at my T3s here, we're teetering right there on the line, but we're still technically in the sell zone, not the buy zone. You see that? And
Yeah.
reacting off a resistance.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
No. I
No,
mean,
I don't like it.
if you look, so interestingly, hang on, where did we close? Let me go back to the 2 hour. Did we close above? Ooh, we closed at the 50% mark. 77902. Literally right there. I don't like it. It's not fantastic. It's not fantastic.
I mean, on a short-term bullish fib, it's already beat the 100% and sustained above it.
On Aussie dollar.
Aussie dollar, yeah. But it's not got no new highs yet, man.
Okay, so
Yeah, forget Aussie dollar. Got no time for that.
interestingly, dollar yen, this came down to 27. It dipped down to 27, rejected, and then closed at 31. My level here is 35. Hold on.
27.
So that came right down to support, because I've got my support level at 269. This came down to 274. I mean, you know, split the difference, because it's came down to support. We're getting a little bit of a bounce at support, which is of course anticipated. It comes on the heels of this engulfing bear and this engulfing bear.
And that dollar yen's small little support pullback that you're describing there, I think that's going to be very short-lived.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
I'll tell you why, because on the 1 hour, in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the last 6 hours, it's come down to the 1 hour, bounced. It's come down, no, sorry. It's come down to the L1, 60-minute L1, bounced. It's come down to the L2, 60-minute L2, and it's now bouncing, and that's exactly what it's doing now. That'll fail. Continue down to about 105.16, with 105.20 being the first sort of support level to actually give a damn about. But I reckon it'll make its way down to about 16 before it'll start to see a little bit of exhaustion. And beyond that, we're looking at the 105.7.
Yeah.
But look at the move that it's just had, though. You know, from the top of the red there to the bottom, that's a 25 pip. Normally, I find once you've had a 20 pip move across the sort of 5 majors, that the 6 currencies that we're using, it's due some kind of pullback, and there's always normally around about a 50%. So if it moves 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, it'll pull back in some capacity in a varied amount of time by about 50%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So this is now moving. That's it pulled back about 50%. Well, you know, give it.
See, what's also interesting here, mate, is this 4-hour time frame is basically the same story. In fact, but it's an even stronger case for what we're doing here. You know?
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, we got a 4-hour evening star right there.
I'm selling.
4-hour evening star. That's well nice.
I'm gonna get in with 6%, I reckon.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here to remember Richard Hooper and his account.
His account. Richard Hooper's account. Mate, did you read that PDF I sent yesterday with all the maths planning?
I haven't had a chance, no.
No.
Not yet.
You're gonna absolutely love it, mate.
Am I?
Oh,
I'm looking forward to it.
You're gonna love it, mate. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna build an app out of it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna build an app and sell it on the store for 79 pence.
Why 79 pence?
They're always about 79 pence, and they for some reason. I think they're a quid, but then Apple or whatever take about 21p or something. You know, you go on the App Store and it costs like a pound or something to download.
I see what you're saying.
I think it's like the cheapest price that you can
See, dollar CAD looks rather interesting for. I was saying this before. Before for a buy right here at 26.40, and I'm thinking it's got room up to 2700. Thinking it does have some room here up to 2700. 2-hour MACD is beautiful, although the stochastic RSI isn't brilliant. The 4-hour look like the 4-hour, however, is, and the 4-hour on the 4-hour we've got dark cloud cover, followed by an engulfing bull. That 4-hour, mate, look at that. That's gorgeous. Don't you think?
Very nice.
And for a play back to
the
trend line, to test the trend line there.
Are you buying it then, or what?
No. I'm just saying it looks good. Not good enough for me to actually buy it.
Is it not?
I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm only 5 pips off entry. It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
On the 4-hour, it's cool, man.
Yeah, and the 4-hour looks amazing.
4 hours better confirmation than the 2, man. Is this the 2? Yeah.
This is the 2. And then 1. See, what I like about the 4-hour as well is look at how well that trend line tracks. You see? So this is really giving a better sense, because if you look at where that trend line falls, where that T3 falls, it's not the fault of the T3, it's just the time frame it's operating on. But that 4-hour certainly tracks a hell of a lot better with my actual trend line, my hand-drawn trend line, which of course takes priority over everything for me, over everything you see on the, as far as all the automated stuff. My hand-drawn stuff always comes first. Go on, mate, make the decision for me.
It's more of a 1-to-1 for me, that.
Do you think?
Yeah, 50 pip stop, 50 pip take profit, but that's not really your mantra.
See, and I mean, I am ultimately,
What are you thinking about taking it up to that trend line there? The underside of that trend line?
Basically, yeah, basically.
You
2700.
2 to 1 then. You could get 2 to 1 then. Or 1 to 2.
Yeah, look what you just did. What could you get, mate? 2 to 1.
Just spending too much time with Yao. 1, 2, the 2. Risk the 1, you get 2 back.
Don't know. I don't know. I've not made up my mind yet, and that's never a good sign. So if that's the case, what I always say is, if it takes more than a couple minutes to make up your mind, just move on. It's not, you're beyond a couple of minutes. I'm not talking about the analysis. I'm talking about the actual when it comes time to trade, right? If it takes more than a couple of minutes to decide yes or no, it's a no. For me, it's a no. You know what I mean? Because then you don't want to be forcing it either. You know what I mean? You don't want to force a trade.
You run the risk of making it fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Euro dollar did it.
Euro dollar.
Euro dollar done it, man. It broke its 50 and it's
on its way, baby.
It'll have some trouble at 65 though now, but that's about it.
You shut your mouth. Never mind. Why would you say that, Richard?
Have you bought it?
Yeah, of course. Euro dollar. I'm in on euro dollar and I'm in on dollar yen. This is my euro dollar trade right here. And then there's dollar yen. Ooh, dollar yen's looking good. It's looking very good. Aussie dollar, 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 dollar. I'm in two minds, but not really, because I'm much more in favor of a buy than I am a sell here. Much more in favor. However, all that resistance right there at 7790/7800. That's a good amount of resistance right there. What did this close at? It was 77. Yeah, 7790 even. Okay, so I'll tell you what. I'm going to look at this candlestick right in here, which is, of course, an engulfing bull. I'm going to look at a scalp setup on that and see what scalp in this looks like. And if there's room, see if there's room for that, So this would obviously be to 3,800 even. And then this. Be to 65, 77.65. $35 in risk, so 52 in reward, so 78.52. That's it there. We go up to the 4 hour. Let's see what the 4 hour looks like.
Yeah, the market's calmed down a bit now, mate.
Yeah, it has.
What are you in? You in dollar, yen, and euro dollar? Is it just those two?
Just those two for the moment, yeah. See, Aussie dollar hasn't hit that level since friggin' March of 2018 from the look of it. But we're certainly we're on track. I'm just not sure we're going to get there. And to be honest, the 4 hour does not look good at all now that I come up to this 4 hour. Look at this. Does not look good at all for a buy.
No way.
No chance. None whatsoever, mate. None. That's a sell and a half. Right? I mean, you got dark cloud cover right here. You got dark cloud cover, which, to be fair, failed. But then you've got right at the backside of the trend line, which, actually looking at this, you can see how the market's just rode along the backside of this trend line for a little while now. And that's proven to be a very good level of resistance. This most recent application, being no exception here. Resistance held, pushed us down, gave us a dark cloud cover. We're still very much in the buy zone. Doesn't take away from the fact that we're in the buy zone, and obviously in an uptrend.
What's that 7713 you got there?
That's support. That's support, and actually 7715 is what I mean. What I meant to have it at. It's that B high right there.
That color. You always use that color.
Yeah, I can do for support. I'll toggle between that one and that one.
I mean, potentially it could see 7720 and then carry on long. There could be it could be a pullback from now. Is that worth a consideration on a 4 hour sell trade for you with your strat? With your stop above that high there? Is that worth consideration? Because there's a good 70 pips in that, mate.
Let's have a look. From the close here, this is 776. Sorry, 7776 would be 7766. No, I don't think so.
Where did it go?
I mean, there's 45 pips there, but what's the risk? Let's have a look. So there's 40. Already we're at 40, so 55. So there's not even a 1-to-1 available there. I don't like it.
Okay.
Don't like it at all.
Forget it, man. So is that you?
You like that?
Pound dollar, pound yen. What about euro Aussie?
Hang on a second, because Aussie dollar.
I don't like it, man.
I don't like it, but if anything, I'm looking for a move to 78.52. So what I want to do here is I want to put an alert on this trend line, my hand-drawn trend line cutting through here. Because if we break above, that's going to be really the determining factor, right? Because I anticipate that if we get that, then what we'll likely see is a push through the high here to 78.20, then a pullback. That's my opportunity to get in then, right? To take it to the 78.52. So I'm not looking to get in this now. I don't like the look of it now at all, in either direction. So that's the plan of action, because that's what I'm anticipating. So I'm gonna place an alert on this crossing up, and I'm just gonna put check. What's it dollar? Dollar. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, continue anyway. It's fine. I'll just put another alert on then. Trading view. Put an alert at this high right here, 78.05. So I want to see when this crosses. Yeah, again, there's a chance that I missed the boat in waiting for all this, but I'd rather do that. Although, hang on a minute. Just wait a minute, Batman. Hang on. Stochastic is at 22. Look at that shit. I didn't see that. Stochastic's at 22.6. Ooh.
I think it's all a mess, mate. Aussie dollar. I mean, let me even send you this picture. I wouldn't touch it.
I think it's gonna move.
Look at that, man. Obviously, that's what it's doing now. You know, trading's about projecting what it's gonna do and getting in on the race. But
oh
I
wow!
think it's in between.
What the hell did you send me? Look at that.
It's doing nothing, mate.
Jeez.
It's just bunched up doing nothing. The Aussie dollar is almost. Because Euro Aussie's going long and Euro dollar's going long, there's therefore dollar weakness, which we know, and there's also Aussie dollar weakness.
Yeah.
But they then cancel each other out.
Yeah.
So that's why it's doing nothing at the moment. It's like a
Okay.
Rubik's Cube, innit? So it's Aussie dollar's turn to do nothing at the minute. So I wouldn't put trade on thinking that you're gonna get anything out of that today. And looking at the news, there is some Aussie dollar news tomorrow, or in the night at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then there's some dollar tomorrow on the open. So until then, nothing going on, man.
Yeah. No, I agree. Pound dollar cable, 39.40 for an entry. That's what was left behind here. Of course, is a piercing line. So if anything, I'd look to scalp that piercing line. Stochastic is sitting at 26. By the time we get the close of this candle, we'll probably be squarely in the buy zone. The MACD isn't fantastic. And I'm not so sure we're over the pullback just yet on the 4 hour. That's a problem. But what's nice about this in here, though, on the 4 hours, that's giving me 1, 2, 3 candles counter candles, so I can come in with a counter trend line. You know, that's an entry opportunity in itself.
There's a good look. It's a good selling opportunity.
This is interesting. Look at this. What have we got here, mate? But a spinning top. And sure enough, right, after that spinning top formed, for 12 hours inside the range, market then broke out, created a high, and then once it's come back to test, where does it come back to test? Literally the top of the range of the spinning top, right? And you can see, so that, you know, what was resistance there became support. Support held, gave us a lot of price rejection. Even prevented an evening star, because that would have been an evening star. Had that closed down here, that obviously would have been an evening star. It's not to say, though, that this can't still be an evening star, i.e. with this candle, right? Because this could sell, come down to here, and then the summation of those candles together would give us an evening star. Very much favoring the buy, but obviously on the 4 hour it doesn't look good at all for a buy. Doesn't look great on 2 hour. It doesn't look great, full stop. Although, saying that, the smaller the time frame, the better the buy actually looks. It's on the 15. And on the 15 we have a straight up buy signal. See that? Straight up buy signal on the 15. Though the stochastic is in line. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm looking at?
Yeah. To be fair, it has come down for the second bite of the 1 hour. It's bounced off the 21.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it sure has.
That's it. Just
Kind of like it. I kind of like it. I don't know, man. My bullish senses are tingling. Despite what we're looking at here, from indicator wise, and that my bullish senses are tingling. If anything, I think that the sell that we're looking at here, if anything, I think that's just a potential move to this secondary trend line here, because you see we got the break, test, resistance holding. We have this spinning top here, this spinning top boundary. As long as we're still above that spinning top boundary, I'm still going to maintain a bullish posture, bullish outlook. The minute we break below, at that point we're looking at an evening star here anyway, right? So forget about the bulls at that point, right? Yeah, it's a tough one because it's not. There's nothing. It's not an exciting. In fact, it's not even really a setup at the moment. But I can see it coming. I can see it coming. But you got to be patient as a trader, don't you? You have to be patient. Just because you can see something coming, gotta wait. Dollar yen looks nice. So does euro dollar. Starting to look pretty nice there. And then dollar CAD. Dollar CAD's actually given me 1, 2, 3 counter candles, so I can come in here. So I'm gonna be able to get a setup on dollar CAD, assuming it does sell now. Then I'll place an alert here, and crossing down below this trend line obviously indicates to me a selling opportunity. So I'd want to see this come down and cross below.
It's a little bit trickier on these larger time frames to determine a trade because you've got the stocks in one place and the MACDs in another.
Yeah, I mean that's
I know
gonna
they're
be
not
true.
absolute, but
Yeah, and you can't base it off of. You kind of have to like look at it in terms of the overall picture. You know what I mean? I don't look at any one thing in particular in isolation. I take it all as an overall picture and weigh it up. You know, sometimes the stochastic will carry more weight than anything else. Sometimes the MACD will carry more weight. It just depends on what's happening at the time. You know what I mean? So you kind of, as a trader, you kind of always have to be adaptable on your feet like that, you know, and be able to take everything individually, but then piece it all together and say, right, okay, this is the picture. You know what I mean? These are the different lines in the picture, but this is the picture. You know? And overall, on Aussie dollar, I think it's gonna friggin' buy. It's doing my head in because I think it's gonna buy 7852. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy it. I might put half risk on it.
bit, man.
Might put half risk. I don't know. Should I put half risk? 35.
Mate, if it's ticking your boxes, then
It's not though. It's not
You know.
ticking all my boxes, is it? Let's be honest.
if it's not, then leave it. Just leave it, mate.
Well, it's not ticking all boxes, but it's enough that I'm still looking at this and still interested. I think there's a good buying here. I'll put half risk on.
Dollar yen's going now.
Sure is. And euro dollar's responding almost perfectly in kind. Right, so I've put half risk on Aussie dollar. Entry at 77.92 was my actual entry point. Profit level at 7852, and my stop level at where are you? 7765. So it's actually a 1 to 2 on this.
And yen dropped considerably, man.
I bet because dollar yen starting to move now. So right, okay. So then in that case, so that's Aussie dollar. Pound dollar. There's the sell. There it is going.
Mate, have you got a spare screen free?
No, but why? What's up?
You know, okay.
Why? You want to send me something?
No, it's fine. We can cover it later.
Ooh, pound yen looks nice for a sell. Pound yen looks very nice for a sell. Short term, obviously.
Yeah, I was wondering what pound yen looks like for you because
Oh, mate, the pounds across the board look ripe for a sell. Across the board. Okay, this is very interesting, actually. You've got my attention. So, you ready? Here we go. From the top. That's very interesting. So pound Aussie, right? There's that downtrend line right there. Look at how that's tracking with that automated trend. That's amazing, isn't it? It's tracking so nicely with that automated trend line, which just means support right there. Obviously the backside. Let me come down here. Obviously overall trend appears to be up, though we did stall here. Long term, if we really come out more, obviously overall trend is down, not up, but this, I'm talking about this most recent, most relevant movement here, obviously, is up. And then we got the stall, and with it, a beautiful flagpole pennant, right? So let me come in with some additional trend lines in here. Like so. Oh, that's very interesting. So, you see this in here, mate? Look at this. So this broke through, right? And then came back to the backside of this uptrend line here, where it found resistance and then has just kind of rode along this. And then you can see, you know, we're getting these formations in this sort of zone of resistance in here. You see that? Getting price rejection, and then you get in the formation there. That's a dark cloud cover, followed by a test which ultimately failed and resulted in a sell-off, which is now already underway. It might be too late for this, but let's see what this looks like. In terms of the fibs, let me just come down and see what the fibs look like on this. Obviously short-term fibs. If I wanted to go the whole kit and caboodle, I would go to the top there of the downtrend line, but I'm not looking to do that at the moment. 7656, yeah, that's right. Okay, so first round of fibs complete. We get a 5-0 pullback up to the 1.618, and just beyond we get that fulfillment right there, like so. And lo and behold, there's room back to a 38.2 here at 77.48, which means there's some room to the downside. I like it. 77486. Right, so the low here was 80, or the close rather was 85. So I'm going to go 75. So I'm already 14 pips off entry here. Oops. Already 14 pips off entry, which is not great. But this is basically, this is what this setup would look like based on that formation. So if we'd caught this when that had formed, this is what I'd be looking at. 79, 18, it's going to be 23. 79.23 for the stop. $48 in risk. So minimum of 72 in reward puts me at 78.03. Ooh. Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. Look at that. Right back to support is what that is. It's just a play back to support. Very interesting.
Okay.
The only thing is, the boat has left the station a little bit on this one because we're 14 pips off entry.
Yeah.
Which isn't ideal. I try to keep it to, you know, like 10 pips usually at a maximum, right? If we're still within the 10 pips, I'll look to take it. If we're beyond that, it's often not worth it for me, you know. We also, there's a couple other things to consider here. Obviously, you know, we are coming up to support. So if anything, this may be a case of hold off and wait for a pullback and then look to get in with the understanding or the anticipation that, you know, ultimately this should move down to 78.03. So I've got opportunity, I've got room down to 78.03, right? So I don't have to get in right now. I can wait, in other words. Because unfortunately that that first train has left the station. And, you know, by me standing on the sidelines, I may miss out on this, but it is what it is. This may shoot right down, but it is what it is. I can't just trade like that, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be more disciplined than that, don't you? Pound New Zealand, though, interestingly, is now broken into the sell zone out in the field. We do have a cross on the MACD as well. Stochastic sitting at 10, which isn't great. But if I go up to, let's go up to the larger time frame. I've got a little bit more room, and it looks like, if anything, it looks like this is just attempting to make a push back to that trend line there. All right, so, you know, if anything, the opportunity would be inside of here. So that means then that this low is going to be of good consequence. 9073. So I'd actually round up and say 9075. I'd go 9075 and I'd say, right, 9075, major level of support to look out for and to target potentially, right? So then back here on the 2 hour, I see something I can go off of already. I've not put any fibs on this or even trend lines or anything, but you see I'm going to just skip through all of that and just do straight up price action trading here. 15 pips above puts me at 50, 92.50. 10 pips below puts me at 91.99. So again, this is another situation. There was actually an opportunity here. Look at that. If you had a limit order sat there at 99, this thing came up, touched it, and is already U-turning and coming back down again. Look at that. It's a clear sell opportunity. I mean, no doubt.
Gonna set a limit order.
Hey?
You're gonna set a limit order.
I can. That's an option. 51 in risk, 76 in reward is what I'd be looking to go for. So 91.22. Though again, like I say, I've got room down to 9075 there. So 9122.
That looks about right, mate. What's the trend line, upward trend line look like on that?
Show you now. Let's have a look. That's nice, man. That's a nice trade. Shit. It's a very nice trade.
You might want to think about.
That's a very nice trade. Look at that. 91.22. Look at that level.
Yeah, what's the trend line saying?
Are you kidding me? Look at this. Are you kidding me? Oh, mate. That looks really good, actually. I may have to take that. I may have to find a way to take that. So what I'm going to do is go down to the 15. And on the 15, I can see very nicely, thank you 15-minute time frame, it's left behind a beautiful engulfing bear right there that I can take advantage of, right? So I can go to the low there. 10 pips below that low is 67, so 9167. And then I'm going to use this formation for everything, right? So the high, I'm going to go 15 pips above. It's going to put me at 92.17 for a stop. And so that means 92.17 and 91.67. That's 50 pips in risk, which means I want a minimum 75. So 9092 is what I'm looking at here. Huh. Man, that looks good.
So
That
was
looks
that
good.
the 2 hour down to the 15 and you've looked at it a bit different?
It's the 2 hour. It's basically I'm seeing the opportunity from the 2 hour, but what I'm saying is the train has already left the 2 hour station. However, maybe there's another train at the 15-minute station, and it turns out there is. There absolutely is. So we're gonna just drive down the road a little bit. We're gonna go to that 15-minute station, and we're gonna get on there because that looks really good. I like that a lot. 50 in risk, I said. So Just bear with me. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up. 50 in risk. Okay, so this is pound New Zealand. Mate, that looks beautiful. You kidding me? Gorgeous. What do you think?
Mate, if it ticks your boxes.
It floats my boat, baby.
Yeah, man.
It does it for me. 1.9167 is what I'm looking at.
That
Right,
euro
I'm gonna
went.
go ahead and put that in.
fucking up to town, man.
Pound CAD. It's right on the trend line there.
Amazing. That euro, mate, absolutely went from 34.
Euro dollar.
Traveled 30 pips now.
Hold on, let me go back to this here.
Oh, God.
Where am I? What is... dollar yen. Oh, look at dollar yen. Beautiful. That'll be why, right? So, let me see. Euro,
Yeah.
dollar. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, looks nice. So you're in on that, and yeah.
Yes, sir. And that. And I'm waiting on that. Remember, I said I've actually got the alert there as well. Waiting on dollar CAD. That's an opportunity. In on Aussie dollar. There she goes. There she goes. Me see. Told you.
Yeah, man.
There goes
Nice, man.
Kiwi dollar too. Look at that. Kiwi dollar. Oh, mate. Morningstar. Test.
Are you in on
Failed
that?
test. I will be. Watch this.
Yeah, that's the one I missed. isn't it?
72.30. 72.30. 10 pips above this. What is that? 72. 50. Nope. Wrong way. 72.71. 72.71. Ooh. Buckle your seatbelt, mate.
Yeah, that's the one I missed.
7332.
Technically speaking, the BPC on that New Zealand dollar is still valid for as long as it finishes above on the daily and comes back maybe tomorrow and then goes long again, you know. So you need confirmations, but on the 4 hour it's had a bullish candle close on the 4 hour. I guess the concern is it'll break that top, carry on to the take profit, and then, you know, you've missed that opportunity. But
Kiwi dollar. 41 pips in risk. I'm going to take this one too. Kiwi dollar. Here goes nothing. Kiwi dollar. Where are you? There you are. Kiwi dollar. Right, so I've got a stop here at 72.30. Take profit at 7332. And I'm looking to place an entry buy stop on this at 0.7271, which we're not far off. About 5 pips or so away. Cool. So I've got that set up. Look at this. We started with this. There's nothing going on. Now I'm in 9,000. Now I'm in 19,000 trades.
yeah.
Look at that. Ooh, pound dollar. I'm doing pound dollar too, man. I'm gonna do it. This is all dollar yen driven. This is all dollar driven. It's a dollar kind of day. 39.40, 38.99. It's 41. So 61 in reward. Yep, puts me at 1.4 even. I'm going. Come on, baby. So 41 in risk. Stop loss I'm placing at 38.99. Take profit at 1.4 even. And then I'm looking at a pending order entry buy stop at 139.40. Go on, baby. Get you some. What do you think of that?
Going for the 140, that's a nice price, mate.
Yeah, I like
That's
it.
a good one.
I like it very much.
Ideally, though, you need the break of this high, man.
Agreed. but by then it's a bit too
Oh.
late, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so
In the way that you take your trades, absolutely.
yeah. So at this point, you know, that I'm anticipating that we're going to go for that high. I'm just kind of setting up for that to happen, you know. So that's pound dollar. Let me see. Let's check in on pound Aussie. Oh, that looks good. Pound New Zealand looks great. Okay. Right, so just to give an update here, I am currently active on dollar yen, on euro dollar. So here's my euro dollar trade right here. So far so good. Active on dollar yen right here. So far so good. And active on Aussie. Oh, I think dollar CAD's gonna set up too. That's I think that's my next one. There's my Aussie dollar trade right there as well. I've also got pending orders on Kiwi dollar, so there's Kiwi dollar pending order. Looking at that morning star right at support in the buy zone. Beauty. Pound dollar, I've got a pending order right there. 39, looking to get in at 39.40, so just about 5 pips off there, but taking that piercing line basically. Taking my cues off of that piercing line right there. And then I do have a pound New Zealand pending as well that I want to just show you quick. So obviously if Kiwi dollar is rallying, pound Kiwi in theory would sell off. Hence why I'm positioned for such a move. But I'm positioned for 91.67, and it looks like we may actually just get a pullback here and test this. So we've had a pretty decent sell-off here. We've also had dark cloud cover right there, although that might even be an engulfing. Let me see. Arguably an engulfing. What's the low? 9,200. No, it's not. No, it is a dark cloud cover. So there's a dark cloud cover right here, which has already started to move. So now we're getting the first sort of real test here. But that looks good for a sell, man. That definitely looks good for a sell to me. And in that case, I'm looking to take that down to 9092, though I think I've got room down to 9073. But I'm not trying to be greedy. 9092.
Yeah, that looks good, man.
Look,
I think you've picked out some decent trades today, mate.
Yeah, I think so.
Just let them do their job now.
That's it. Yeah. For the most part, yeah.
So what's the summary then?
Dollar weakness seems to be the story of the day. Dollar weakness? Yeah. Yes, dollar weakness. Confused myself for a second there. But yeah, no, dollar weakness appears to be the story this morning. So I'm basically just positioned for dollar weakness across the board. I'm looking to buy all the dollar secondaries, sell the dollar primaries. I've got my eye on dollar CAD. That's the only thing I don't have set up. So I've got euro dollar set up. I've got Aussie dollar set up. I've just been taken in on pound dollar as we speak. So that's another trade I'm now active on. And I'm active on dollar yen. I've got a pending on Kiwi dollar. So dollar CAD is the only of the majors that I don't have just yet. And that's because I'm waiting for a selling opportunity. Originally I was looking at a buy here, but I don't think I'm going to get that. I think I'm going to get the sell first. So hence why I've put the alert on this counter trend line here. Because thankfully, dollar CAD has given us 1, 2, 3 counter candles, allowing me to come in with the counter trend line, which is a strategy in its own right? It's a strategy in and of itself. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the selling opportunity to actually form here. What's happening currently, obviously, is this is leaving behind an evening star. If this were to close right now, looking exactly the way it does, that's an evening star, which again further supports not only my theory of the case for dollar weakness, but my actions this morning as well, the trades I've actually taken as well.
Yeah, man.
And that's it. Other than that, that's it. That's where we are. So let me just show you here. So I have now been taken in on pound dollar. 39401 was my exact entry point, so pretty good there. Oh, and actually on the other account here, I bang on 3940. So let's have a look. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in 3940 with a stop at 1.3899 and a take profit. I'm looking to actually take this right to 1.4 even. I always do that. I always get the friggin' they should change this, you know. They should put entry, then stop, then take profit. So backwards. Everywhere else, everything else you use as a trader does it in that format. 1.4, and then the stop is 1.3899. So that's my pound dollar trade. You can see roughly 1 to 1.5 there. But I'm now in on this. This is now live. It's taking me in. And I think that's it. I think everything else, yeah, everything else is on here already. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for me, man. That's what I've got going.
Mate. Nice, good little sesh. Is it anyone asked any questions or?
We haven't had any questions come through, no. But if you're watching along, if you're here, if you have any questions, now would be the time to post them. Because we've got a couple minutes left, and then I think we'll probably wrap up for the day. What do you say, Rich?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think I've got nothing going on my side. I've done my trades. You've picked a good bunch today, mate. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see what happens. It looks good, though. It looks good. Our indicators are a little bit all over the place this morning, but price action is kind of making up for that with some definitive candlestick formations, definitive movements. You know what I mean? So I find, you can get that sometimes where some days it's price action that's just shit and not doing anything, but the indicators, if you were just trading off of indicators, you'd think there's all the opportunity in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then days where the exact opposite is true, where price action is go flying, and if you're not on it, you're missing it. And the indicators are asleep at the wheel. So
I mean, just looking at that chart, people will be like, what is going on? You got the MACD, you got the stock, you got the actual candles itself, then you got your support and resistance lines, then you got your T3s, then you got your trend lines. Like, there's so much data to churn and analyze,
Absolutely.
And their prominence vary as well, depending on what's most pertinent or applicable or appropriate, depending on what the strategy is as well. Like, people don't give trading the justice it deserves with regards to how complex.
Absolutely.
It really is. Like, it does go up or down, but it's an incredibly complex technical role to fulfill, long term.
Definitely. You gotta love it.
You do.
That's for sure. You gotta love it. Especially to be crazy enough to do it for as long as you and I have been doing it, eh?
I know. I think that's why I like my strats, because they're just so short, sharp, and out.
Yeah, I must admit
to get the results, though,
pretty appealing.
To get the results, though, mate, you got to spend hours and hours and hours and hours with the charts. Like, you have to be observant. You got to be setting alarms. You got to be around the computer. I told you there. There was 5 trades. I missed some because I didn't get to the computer for half an hour. Or you're doing one trade and you'll miss the other. It's certainly pernickety, man. Yeah. But no, I'm good, mate. Unless there's anyone tuning in or asking any questions. I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I think I'm good too. So, with that, let's go ahead and put a pin in it right there. Thank you so much, everybody. For those of you who are watching along, for those of you who watch this later on, thank you so much for being here with us and for watching. Happy Tuesday once again. Hopefully it continues to be a good day. It's been a pretty good morning so far, so hopefully that carries on. Good luck, everybody. And we'll see you again tomorrow, same place, same time. As always, in the meantime, to your health, wealth, and happiness always. This is Christopher Guzman, your host, and Rich Hooper, your co-host, signing out and saying good day. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Rich. Have a great day, mate.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow.